Welcome to Unveiling Valor, Captain Len Kane's journey from naval hero to humanitarian luminary with your host Captain Len Kane and President of the Hope Collection Ron Clayton. We would like to thank our sponsors, extend our deepest gratitude to the Hope Collection and Joel and Ardith Griffin for their unwavering support in making a positive impact on our community. Our generosity empowers us to reach further, dream bigger, and extend a helping hand to those in need.
Well, welcome everybody to the Friday edition of the Golden Rule Society radio blog show with the Optimize My Life radio show on Blog Talk Radio, hosted and brought to you by the Golden Rule Society and the Hope Collection. Both are organizations that are nonprofit 501c3 operations. The Golden Rule Society was founded 52 years ago, and by the gentleman whom everybody in America, well, almost everybody in America, knows him as Top Gun, the original, Captain Leonard Kane from Scranton, Pennsylvania, where our great President-to-be just spent the day yesterday and was sharing with the countryside over there in western and eastern Pennsylvania about the great things he's going to do to restore being a proud American. And Fridays, we honor and glorify and edify my good friend, our friend, Captain Len Kane. Captain Len, reporting for duty, sir. How are you on this magnificent Friday?
Well, God bless, and thank you for the kind words. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here. And I always say, jokingly, now that you're on board, watch my lips. Which is impossible, of course, because it's a radio show, but it all's in good fun, little levity, and a lot of good things for you and yours. So I encourage you right now, be sure that you have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, whatever, to take the notes about gifts for you and yours. And all the things that we have to offer with our Golden Rule Society charity, and as Mr. Ron Clayton mentioned, we've been doing this for 52 years. And by the way, we're all non-paid volunteers. So the first thing I'm going to let you know is we're not selling anything. We're just busy helping to make it a better world. And we have a whole bunch of good things that you're going to have to take good care of and share with everybody that you like. But that's your choice all the way. And that's the nice part of it. And many of you know that last Friday and weekend, the Hope Radio Show went without me because I was honored, seriously honored, being selected to be part of the program called the Honor Flight. And it goes from San Diego all the way to the great capital of the United States. So I didn't make the show, but I was on the airplane off to Washington, D.C., and I'll tell you all about the wonderful places we have visited and honored all those who have served, fought, and even died for the wonderful gifts and freedoms that we all enjoy here in the United States. And by the way, this Blog Talk Radio show goes to as many as 95 countries. And I always say, I don't know who's listening, but we know who's talking. And whoever you are listening, you can always tell your family, friends, neighbors to log on to the radio show on Fridays. And you'll hear my pleasant voice, I hope, telling you all the nice things. But here's the nice thing, too. Mr. Ron Clayton, who's now the president of the Hope Collection, because he filled in for the founder, a wonderful gentleman by the name of Mr. Joel Griffin, who sadly, the cancer got to him and the good Lord called him home, so he's not with us anymore, but he is in our thoughts and our words and our deeds. What a wonderful, wonderful man he was. Now, Mr. Joel Griffin was a graduate of Mansfield University up in Pennsylvania. That was my home state. And what a small coincidence, my high school football coach also went to Mansfield University. But Joel Gripping and I, we didn't meet for years later. But when we did meet, I found out all about Mr. Joel Gripping. He went on, after college, he got his doctorate in mathematics. The guy was brilliant. He was a nice guy. He was a tall, good-looking, handsome man, and with a delightful personality. And everybody just were fond of him because he was heartwarming all the time. What can I do for you? And everything. By the way, Mr. Joel Gripping was selected as a senior advisor to not only one, not two, but three of the presidents of the United States. They were so enthralled and pleased with all the wonderful things that Mr. Joel Gripping, I should call him Dr. Joel, PhD. But anyway, off he went, and years later, like I say, we didn't meet, but one day, with our Golden Rule Society charity, doing all the wonderful things that we try to do, helping to make it a better world, why not be a part of it, by the way? He gave me a call one day and say, Len, I've been following what you're doing, and he says, I'd like very much to be a senior advisor in the Golden Rule Society charity. And I always tell people, it took me about a second or so to say, welcome aboard, because that's the kind of a gentleman he was, and continues. Sadly, after his passing, Mr. Ron Clayton, filling in with his lovely wife, Linda, keeping it going. And that's the nice part about it, because I'm going to give you a way to visit the Hope Collection and take advantage of all the opportunities to make it a better life and a better world for you and yours, now and always. Because that's why we're here. We're here to serve. Because people always ask me, Len, what's your philosophy? Why are you doing all this sort of stuff? And I said, it's very simple, really, at least for me. To better the lives of others is your life's greatest reward, which makes the rest of your life the best of your life. And that's what I've been living, because I had a wonderful mother and dad. But when I finished high school, I was going off to the Navy. I had my little bag packed, ready to go. And my mother stopped and said to me, Len, here's what I want you to do. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet, be kind. And those two words are in my heart, in my soul, in my mind. And I'm living my life that way, teaching everybody, our family, friends, neighbors, churches, and charities. Hey, why not be nice? And I'm going to tell you, plant one seed right now. One of the programs we have put together, and by the way, I put it together on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 2021. Everybody said, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, I put it together and I called it the Worldwide Kindness Campaign. It belongs to the Golden Rule Society. And it goes like this. With kindness and love and hope in your heart for peace in the world, treat others the way you want to be treated, truthfully, with dignity and respect. And when you do that, you're sharing the good love that the good Lord gives you with others. And when you do it with a smile. Now, wouldn't this be a better world, here, there, and everywhere, if we would all just live that? It's easy, delightful, pleasant, and I especially like the part about smiling. And I always tell people, add a little something to it. Do it, not just now, but all the time. And that smile is just going to be there for you and them. It melts the hearts. So that's a lot of it about our Golden Rule Society charity, but there's a lot more. And again, be sure to get your paper and pencil copy. And by the way, if you like, as mentioned, this radio show is every day during the weekday. And it's a broadcast at high noon on the East Coast, which of course is 3 hours earlier on the West Coast, where we are located. And my home is in Coronado, California, which is just right across the bridge from San Diego, California. And it's very delightful, nice people, nice friends, churches and charities, all it's wonderful. So this is what we should share, the courtesy and the kindness and the love that the good Lord gives us. So anyway, I want to you to write that down if you're ready with your paper and pencil. Because, by the way, if you want to take less than a minute, if you want to call any of your friends or family or neighbor, whoever you want to call, and tell them, hey, dial in to the Hope for You. And they give them the numbers. But on the telephone, 714-816-4686. And it's available. And I always suggest this. When you do get people logging on, always press the little button on your telephone that says mute, because we want you to listen to the many wonderful people that we have. Many of them are senior advisors in our Golden Rule Society charity. Very successful people. They've been there. They've done that. They've done it. They continue to help. Because whenever one of our senior advisors does something special, I always say, I'm going to double your salary. And it doesn't take long for them to remind me that, hey, Len, 2 times nothing is still nothing. Basically means we're all non-paid, busy doing the work of the Lord, by golly. So you can call and tell your friends to dial in. 714-816-4686. And be sure to mute. What that does, it just keeps people all over the world from making noises, the kids playing outside or watching television or something like that. So it doesn't interfere or interrupt those nice people who are going to be contributing all the other nice things that we have today to talk about. And I do have something special to talk about because I missed the Hope radio show last week. And the reason being, I was honored to be selected to go on the honor flight to Washington, D.C., and I'll tell you much about that. But the sad part about that, when I came back, somehow or another, being exposed to about 200 other people involved in the program, the good doctor said, Len, COVID. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
So, boy, yeah, it's sad, but here's the good news. Oh, for this past week, the good pills that the doctor's given me, I'm back to 100% now.
Good.
Oh, nice to be healthy again. Nice to be healthy again. And I want you all to be very aware of that. Don't just let it happen. And if you do get it, get to the doctor, let him give you the pills, and it'll go bye-bye in less than a week. At least we hope it's that way. And, of course, our very big concern here in the United States is that some of the terrible storms that we're having on the east coast of the United States. Oh, the wind is up to over 130 miles, 150 miles an hour. And it's destroying people, and it goes on and on. Anyway, all we can do is hope and pray for them and with them and support them in any way that we can. So that's why we're here. And by all means, make it a prayer. And when I tell you about the radio show, be sure that you call on time, and be sure that you don't have loud noises in the background and don't disrupt it. And also, one of the wonderful things that we offer, and I'm going to give it to you, is discounts on travel. And everybody said, what does that mean? It means we have made arrangements with just about every airline in the United States, and there are others throughout the country and the world. But here's the nice thing about it. When you go to our website, which I'm going to give to you in a bit of a time, and you can go there and see all the gifts that are available. And I'll go through them all with you. And one of the gifts that are very popular are the discounts on travel. And people say, what is that? I'll give you a simple example. One of my good friends here in San Diego had to go back to New York City on a business trip with his wife, and it was going to be round trip. And he called the airline and said, oh, yes, it's going to be, let me just give you round numbers as examples. It's going to be $1,000. And he mentioned, he says, I'm part of the Golden Rule Society charity. I'm an affiliate. And right now, everybody of you who are listening, you're affiliates. There's no fees, no cost. All you have to do is say that you're part of the Golden Rule Society charity. And what does that mean? Just simply live the kindness and the love that people should share with one another. Courtesies and kindness. So anyway, he ended up, it was going to be $1,000 as an example. And they said, well, no, it's only going to be $600. So he saved $400 on his very first trip. It was more than that, but I'm just giving the example. Now, here's my suggestion to you, because it's a caveat. Don't try to get a discount on Christmas or New Year's or national holiday, because most all of the seats on the flights are full. Makes sense, right? So we have no control over what kind of a discount that they will offer or when they do it. But here's the deal. If the airline has got empty seats that they're carrying back and forth across the country, that they're losing money. So they rather say, we'll give a 50% discount to get somebody in the seats. Makes sense. And again, they control all of that. I have no input. I can't tell them what to do or when to do it. But that's the nice part about it. It's available. My friend who saved money on their first trip, every time he wants to go someplace, he calls, and if they have the seats available, they give him a discount. And obviously, the flight is full, no discount. So there you go, my friends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you more, because it's there available to you. And be sure to have that piece of paper, a pencil, or pen handy. Write down this information. But I'm going to go take a sip of my coffee, and I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Ron Clayton, the boss man. And I'm standing by, Ron. Let me know. I've got more to go, more to tell, more to help. Wonderful stories benefiting everybody. Back over to you, Ron.
Well, thank you.
Standing by.
Thank you, Lana. We appreciate you so much. First of all, I did want to make a little announcement to everybody. There is right now a storm going on. We've heard about the storms in Florida and Georgia and Carolinas and North and South, Tennessee. Well, there's also the sun, that big ball, and occasionally up north we get to see it. There are sunspots, storms going on right now, and they literally are causing interference in the internet and waves from airlines all over the world. And so we're going to hear a lot of sound and a lot of static and things like that. So now it's more important than ever. If you're just listening, we do ask you to hit the mute button on your phone, because it helps cut down the static. And then when you want to talk, of course, unmute and jump right on. I know Len was talking about the kindness campaign he created. Well, it went another step further. Not only has that gone viral, you can see on any given day on TV, you'll see some organization, some company advertising. They'll either be saying the words "be kind," or they'll say that they've got a kindness program themselves. But the originator and the person in the kindness campaign that's gone viral started with Captain Len Kane and through the Golden Rule Society. So I'm very proud of that. But he took that a step further. One of the board members of the Hope Collection, her name is Mary Stanley. She's a neurodiversity specialist. That's children with special needs and programs. But she has developed new techniques for helping children and parents raise children and helping them to overcome what used to be called autism. Anyways, then she also handles all the communications for the Hope Collection. And her daughter, her name is Ariana, better known by me as Princess, and her and Captain Len developed a kids' kindness campaign. You know, we've been hearing for years about bullies in the classroom. Well, you know, if the kids all get in a competition, she came home from school and said, "Mom, can't we have a kids' club for kindness?" And her and Len and Mary created it. And you can have one in your school, your Sunday school, and all you can do is call the Golf Collection. We'll get connected. We've got a plan, whole program. It's all set up. You don't have to adapt. You can adapt it to whatever needs you have in your school, but it's operating. And then Len founded that, and then with Ariana and Mary Stanley. Well, that's what we're doing is we're eliminating bullying going in school. I mean, the kids are in competition to figure out who's going to have the best help somebody, you know, kindness to somebody, and they get rewarded for doing something kind. So they don't have time to be bullying each other. They're now the thing to do is to be kind to each other. It's very successful. And I want to thank Len one more time for stepping out. Now, another thing that Len has been doing and a part of, he has brought to the Hope Collection and the Golden Rule Society benefits through a worldwide company called Intiva Health. And Intiva Health is a health company that's been recognized by the American Medical Society, American Cancer Society, all the major medical companies, organizations in the world have called. They labeled Intiva Health as the #1 supply supporter in the health industry worldwide. They're out of Houston. And they have programs that you can get that are incredible. One of them is a genetic test that you can have tested so you can give to your primary doctor. You get a report. They do a swab test, swabbing, and you send it in. They do a genetics test. You will get a report back to give to your doctor that will tell your doctor, don't give you this medicine, don't give you a medicine with this or that in it, because that will make you sick or could kill you. And some insurance companies cover that test. If you had to pay for it out of your pocket, it's $200. So I just want to let you know about that one item. They also have a whole division that outside of actual medical treatments, they help people who get educated in every medical field to get certified. So you can get a certificate saying you're a doctor, but you can't practice without being certified in all whatever state you live in. So they have to go to the states and get that approval. And Intiva Health is #1 at getting doctors and medical people and nurses and specialists their certifications to practice. And they do it incredible in their timing and everything like that. And they've been recognized as the #1 supplier of doing that in the world. So when COVID hit, they helped the communication systems for doctors to communicate that allowed us to create, in 9 months, they created the life-saving COVID vaccine that they're still pushing today, and people like one said, you got to have treated. Well, some people have a problem with that, that's going to happen. But, it took 9 years to get the polio vaccine approved, get it made and approved. 9 months because the communication system that the medical industry used worldwide was Intiva Health. So, guys, there's all kinds of beneficiaries. A new product in the last 2 years that they've become the #1 supplier for. There's something called Gummy World. The gummy worms and the kids all love those things and like that. Well, now you know, if you don't like swallowing big pills, or you have trouble swallowing pills, they created gummy medicine and vitamins and food supplements. And Intiva Health is, again, the number one supplier. They're opening a plant that I know Len Kane and his wife are going through the dedication ceremony later this month or next month. And they have a huge plant. They've doubled the capacity of their ability to produce the gummy material around the world. Now, not only that's great, but what they do is it's organic. Number one, which is very important to a lot of people, being sure you take organic, pure, and pharmaceutical grade gummy material, gummy bear. And so they're the number one supplier. And so when you buy their products, if you get a pharmaceutical product from Whole Foods or CVS Drugs, you're getting gummy bear from Intiva Health. And so they're in the backdrop, world-renowned in quality and expertise. And they're American. They manufacture in Houston, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. So they're making a dent. Instead of going to China to get the materials to make our medicines, they're getting it done in America. They're part of the solution to making America great. So I want to let you know about that. The other thing Intiva Health has are actually, they're in Houston, and you can go online and see all the different services that they have available for you and your family. Highly recommend it. Len Kane also brought to us our RX prescription program that you have to go to and ask them, pharmaceutical. You get a prescription from your doctor. Ask your pharmacist, are they part of the member of the RX program? And you can get discounted medicines. And it's incredible the discount you can get on different kinds of medicines. Number one, help your health. Number two, how about your pocketbook? So these are some of the things that, because of Len Kane, the Golden Rule Society, we can share them with all of you. I'm going to take one more commercial before I bring you back, Len. We have a financial services company. We have a financial services company called Cambridge Finances. And what they are a nonprofit like us, 501c3. That means they're very special in the marketplace. They're looked at and examined by the government very closely. And what they do and say is true. And what they do is they have available for us a financial program. If you are anywhere wondering if you're paying too much for your credit cards and interest, we have a contract with Cambridge Finance where you can get a secure, private, confidential review of all your credit, and you will review it with a counselor that's assigned to you and exclusive through Hope and Golden Rule Society. And then when you review it, they can reduce your monthly bills from the interest rates alone. I will tell you, because I did it myself as a testimony to everybody on this call, my wife and I saved over $500 in interest and fees that we were paying out on our finances. Guys, that's a lot of money. In the next 40 months, we're going to save $17,000 that we would have had to pay out. Now, we're still paying our bills. We're still paying our debt. But what they did is they reorganized our interest rates and fees. And so we have saved $500 a month. That pays for a lot of gas, a lot of food on the table, a lot of travel. So if you want to have that kind of freedom, I highly recommend that you get a hold of us, and we'll get you connected to our exclusive Hope Cambridge counseling program. And so I highly recommend it. And up front, it doesn't cost you a dime. The company does build in a $50 fee they amortize over the cost of you're paying your program back. You don't even see it. It's like the interest you're overpaying already. But it does cover the cost of doing the business and serving it. But it doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket. And they're already admitting that, you already have a challenge with economics. Why add to it? Let's get rid of them and reduce. And that is a wonderful program we have to share with you. And you can do it, and I highly recommend it. You'll never be sorry. I am so glad we did it. and it's been such a benefit for Lynn and I. So, Len, you want to come on back? You got some more things on your heart you'd like to share today? Uh-oh. I'm not muted. I'm still here. Is everybody here? Oh, wait a minute. Len, are you back?
Yes. For some reason, my telephone just stopped operating.
Well, I'll tell you what. It could be part of those sunspots. Seriously, I've been warned about it. Technical people have let me know that we're dealing with this situation worldwide. You know, it's not anything that any one of us can control. We just have to react to it. And sunspots, I just went to a store, and they're having trouble with anybody coming in to use a credit card or a debit card because of sunspots. Their systems are not working. It's not us doing anything, nothing we're doing wrong. Sunspots. So you can always, just in the future, just blame sunspots.
Ron,
yes,
this is me, Gary. This is me, Gary.
Yes,
Hi. Yeah, on the way home, Wednesday night, they were talking about these solar flares, and they said that, and this is all throughout the United States, that if everybody starts experiencing a grid change, meaning like internet problems, cell phone problems, electrical problems, all kinds of electrical problems, he said it's because of these solar storm flares. I think he said it's like 2 days. I think he said Thursday and Friday, and it's going to interrupt a lot of our electronics, everything, in many different ways. So I can't say which ones and which, but I know last night we had that situation too. It was kind of on and off a little bit.
Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I was just like, yeah, because I'm having some issues here.
You're not intruding. Gary, you are welcome. And you see, what makes the Optimize Your Life and the Golden Rule Society radio show work is that we have people doing, like you called in today, and you are a welcome guest, and you have something that's shared that is going to be benefit to everybody who's listening in. And we archive every show. We've got 1,800 shows that are archived now. That's how long we've been doing this radio show. And on different days, like today, you got to meet Captain Len Kane. Say hi to Captain Len. Len is a new friend of ours and a new member working with Bob Oakley in the travel business. And so Gary has just partnered up with Bob Oakley, and they're going to work together. So he called in today. We want to welcome him to the show.
Well, welcome, Ron. Tell me your last name, if you would.
I'm Gary. Last name is Guidard.
Well, God bless you. Welcome aboard, Ron. Happy to have you here.
No, I'm Gary.
Gary, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I was listening to something you said about what your mom said, because my mother used to say that too, about a smile. And, you know, this world is so big, and there's so many people. And obviously, you know, we see people in the world, but we don't know what's running through their minds and the problems that they have. But that one smile could actually, you don't know, bring so much joy to that person's life for that split moment. So I was listening to what you said, and you made me think back of what my mom said to me.
Well, it's good to hear good guidance like that anytime, anywhere, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, smile goes a long way.
Well, that is terrific. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you with us. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you that I was going to give you a wonderful opportunity to guarantee that you will be more successful in life. And everybody says, a guarantee? I said, absolutely. And I tell people that the guarantee is wonderful because I'd even give you a money-back guarantee, but I can't because it's free. So relax and enjoy. As I mentioned earlier, we're not selling anything, but we offer opportunities to be more successful. And if you got your paper and pencil handy, by golly, here you go. And most everybody knows what it's like. The website of the Golden Rule Society charity is www.goldenrulesociety. And that's all one word, no spacing. Golden Rule Society, the letter .org. ORG simply means, in the United States, it's a charitable, nonprofit, tax-exempt corporation, both nationwide and worldwide. And again, I stress, we're not selling anything. We're just trying to help make it a better world. And that's why we're all here, to serve. So when you go to the Golden Rule Society website, you're going to see a lot of good things. First one that people are really enthused about is what I like to talk about, because as mentioned, I was an airline, I was a fighter pilot in the Navy for 26 years. And then after I retired from the Navy, this airline here in the San Diego area called me and said, "Len, we'd like me to come aboard and be an instructor pilot and also a line pilot, carrying passengers and doing." So I said, "I'll give it a try." And it was a wonderful experience. The airline name was the Pacific Southwest Airlines. PSA was the short term. And, of course, later on, after I was leaving and retiring from there, some other people come and purchased them. So now it's American Airlines is the new owner. But the point is, with the airline opportunity, it was wonderful because when we did wonderful things, and that created the Golden Rule Society charity. I'll tell you more about that, but I don't want to go too in labor, but the point I want to focus on you. So you're going to click on Captain's Travel Tips. And again, something I was put together when I was an airline captain. And 3 chapters, all about how to save money, how to be safe, how to keep your home when you're away traveling, keep it safe and protected. And while you are traveling, making sure that nobody's going to take advantage of you in any shape or form. And ways to save money and ways to enjoy. Why do something that's going to cost you a lot of extra money and it's really not going to pay off? So why not just save time, efforts, and be safe? Those are the things you have. Captain's Travel Tips. And again, I mentioned the airline discounts. And I got to tell you again, there it is. All you do is log on. And if you save money on one trip and you try it again and again, it doesn't expire. It keeps going. In other words, you just don't use it once and then say, oh, then you have to pay extra next time. No. If you get a discount, there, next time you don't travel, if the seats aren't filled, you can get yourself a discount. And they control it. I say that over and over. And I got to go back to what Mr. Ron Clayton mentioned. He talked about the Intiva Health Program. And I've got to tell you about it and how it happened. As I mentioned, I was a Navy fighter instructor. And, by the way, the program that I put together as a fighter instructor, they gave it a nickname. They call it the CAT program, Kane Air Tactics. And the record that I set was that I flew 6 different type airplanes in 2 consecutive days. I was going to fly a 7th one, but pulling so many G's, it just took a lot out of me, so I thought 6 was enough, which ended up as it was a Navy record in the United States, and the next thing I found out that it's a world record because not many people have taken the time to fly 6 different airplanes in 2 days, all in air combat maneuvering, offensive and defensive. And using the program that I put together, again, the CAT program, Kane Air Tactics, it was implemented by the Navy's Top Gun School, and using the program, I had 2 deployments over in Vietnam, flying Navy fighters up at high altitude. And we were the first squadron that did not lose a single airplane in combat during the 2 deployments. The Air Force over air in the Pacific heard about what we were doing. Next thing you know, this gentleman and his executive, he was an ace in the Air Force in World War II, shot down 7 German airplanes against the Nazis. So he came out to the ship, like I say, with his egg, spent an afternoon and said, "Len, tell me what you're doing." So I showed him the program, went through the whole, and it was wonderful, easy to understand, but it was a 3-dimensional program. And they thought that was a good idea, thanked me, and then they left the ship, flew back to their Air Force programs and all their organizations that they ran out there in the Pacific. And about a week later, I got this message from them, former Navy message saying, "Len Kane, we virtually cut our losses in half." Can you imagine the tugging at the heartstrings, what you know that what you've been doing for power and control and for safety? That they saving lives, people's lives, people that I never met, never probably will. But same thing happened with other organizations that heard about it and said, "Hey, we're going to do it too." And why not? Because that's why we're here, to serve. And I had to tell you a little bit more about it, because over in combat, I'm up at altitude in my fighters, but who's down on the ground? Marines. I never met any of them while they were down there, but I know they were down there. And as a matter of fact, long story short, one of the Marines was on the ground. He retired from the Marine Corps, went to college, became an attorney, and was very much involved in helping people. And next thing you know, we got in touch with one another, told me who he was, and now we've got established a wonderful friendship. His name is Jim Kyle, top of the line guy, performance. And he called me one day and said, "Len, you got to get down to Texas and meet this gentleman by the name of Alexander Candelario." And he was wounded in combat. He was a Marine. I guess once you're a Maroon, you're always a Marine. But he was medically discharged. So I did, as Jim Kyle asked me, went down and met the wonderful man, Alexander Candelario. And he's the one that was putting together the program, all involved with promoting and supporting the medical industry. So I looked at what he was doing and paid attention. And I'm going to tell you, it didn't take very long for me to say, "Alexander, this is something we've got to perform and project." And as a matter of fact, I helped solicit and put up the financial planning to get his organization, and he calls it Intiva Health. That's his acronym, the Intiva Health Program. So we raised almost $1 million, and that organization, as Mr. Ron Clayton mentioned earlier, has been exponentially growing, supporting the medical industry. And it wasn't like it was a little less than 4 years ago, we were selected number 1 in the world supporting the medical industry. And he mentioned the factories over there in Arizona where they're building all the things that the hospitals and doctors and nurses and organizations are using to save lives. And it's kind of a nice thing that lay down to sleep at night knowing that what I've been involved in, we have saving lives or keeping people from suffering, pain, and all that bad stuff. And that tugs at the heartstrings. I keep saying it again. But there he is. And now, again and again, my wife Ann and I, it was supposed to be this month, but it's probably going to be next month, we're going over to Arizona. And we're going to help raise the flag on top of the third factory that's been built. And the third factory is only 5 times bigger than the previous 2 factories. Wow, you talk about exponential growth. We're supporting people. If you're listening, you probably may be buying some of the pills or the services or whatever they need to make you healthy. And again, why not? And we're going to go over there and do it and say prayers of thanks for everything that Mr. Alexander Candelaria has put together. I was a director and an advisor. Now, Financial Growth, as I gracefully mature, I'm just an advisor, not a director anymore, because I can't keep up with all that sort of stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on about that, but I have some other things to tell you about. But you've got to get involved in the kindness campaign with the kids. You got to get the Success for You, the Antiva Health. And here's something that I found out by accident, almost. It's a prescription discount program. And when the doctor gives me a prescription, I take it to the drugstore. And I heard about this prescription discount program. The interesting thing is that the organizations, the drugstores, they usually don't advertise. So I asked the guy there, I said, oh, by the way, Charlie, are you part of that prescription discount program? And he looked around both ways and said, no, we're not. But across the street, down a block or two, there's a drugstore. They are part of it. So I said, okay, well, thank you very much. And the next time I had a prescription, I went over there, and the savings on the prescriptions vary. It depends on, I have no control, but savings can be up to 80%. So do yourself a favor. Share this with your family and friends and tell them about it. Hey, go to the drugstore, ask about their prescription discount program. Wow. We have another program, and I'm sure I'm going to stress it again, the Wise Traveler. When you're going to go on a trip, all you do is ask for it. It's on the list on our website. Click, and there it is. It's available. You can save money. Terrific. And you can share the information that I'm giving you with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your churches, your charity, whoever you want to go. Because we tell everybody in the world about it, especially the kindness campaign. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we would all just live the kindness campaign of the Golden Rule Society charity? By the way, I've been communicating with the people who are supporting the next president of the United States, President Donald Trump, and we tell them that this is something that we all should be doing. And they are eagerly involved in producing and presenting it to everybody, not just in the United States, but in the world. It's simply kindness. And I'll stress it again because I just can't not. With kindness, and love and hope in your heart for peace in the world. Treat others the way you want to be treated, truthfully, with dignity and respect. And when you do it, share it with a smile. God bless, and on and on. But anyway, there's so many other programs that I could go on and on, but we're going to be running out of time here in a little bit. So, especially just Intiva Health and the Success for You, and we have it. We call it. I put it together years ago. The golden dollar. On one side of this golden dollar, because it's the size of a dollar bill, on one side is an action plan for living. It's how to live your life and be successful and happy with it. And we got an organization, we put it all together, and we're talking to some of the brilliant people in the world, wise helpers, and here's how to do it. Don't make the mistakes that have already been made. Don't spend and waste your money on things that don't work and have been proven not to work. So follow the good guidance, and you're going to be more successful, not only in your business, but in your personal life. And that's why we're here, to enjoy our life together, serving others. And there it is. On the other side of what we call the golden dollar is the action plan for the business. So you got action plan for living, action plan for living and business. So it's the size of $1 bill, which means people carry it in their wallet all the time. And everybody knows we have timeouts where we're sitting around waiting for something. And people tell me the fun thing is they take out their golden dollar. It has a new nickname, by the way. It's called Lucky Buck, which I think is kind of cute. But if you follow the teachings of history's most, you're not going to be Lucky Buck. You're going to be programmed, following the good guidance of the good stuff that's going to make you more successful in your life and happier. We all should be there. And that's why we're here with the Golden Rule Society charity. And Ron, we've got about 5 more minutes, and I think that maybe we might have, I wonder if Mr. Brad Dorsey might be with us today. Brad, are you there?
Just like the Father, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. How you gentlemen doing today, Lynn? I appreciate you sharing that information, Lynn.
Oh, my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brad Dorsey, what a wonderful man he is. He's down in Georgia, and last year, he said, this is the kind of guy he is. He and his organization built something like 50 homes for people that were in need of it. It's probably been more than that because he keeps on doing them. But Mr. Brad Dorsey, tell us about yourself. His nickname is Country Boy, but I'll tell you, what a marvelous, wonderful man and a good senior advisor of our Golden Rule Society. Over to you, Brad.
Lynn, I'll spit for about 40 seconds worth, and then we'll hand the mic back over to Ron. But God does continue to bless those people that want to be blessed. But I learned through the years, Lynn, that because of our obedience, we have the answers and we have the solutions to somebody else's prayer. Tuesday, I think it was, we sent out 5 trucks to Savannah, Georgia for relief, and we sent out 5 trucks yesterday to Charlotte, North Carolina. And then a month or so ago, Lynn, when some of the people that invested into our project as far as the home building, they donated us 200 acres. So we're getting ready to build a completely green community. And Ron Clayton, as we speak, is interviewing the lady that's my mentor that's in charge of that project. So God is good, not some of the time, but all of the time. I'll stop right there, Lynn. Back to you, Ron.
God bless you, Ron. God bless you, Brad Dorsey. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Back over to you, Ron.
Well, guys, we really want to thank everybody who's participating. And it's always wonderful when we have new guests that come and join us. The show goes to over 95 countries. Mary Stanley, our expert coordinator for the Hope Collection radio broadcasting. We started out, we used to be one station, one program for an hour, noon at lunchtime Eastern time. And we did it 5 days a week, but that was it. Now our whole program operates 24/7, and she has taken, and we now have radio shows that come up and pop. We sponsor different organizations, and they use the time that we have slots that we have available, and they're able to use it and broadcast for their businesses, for their charity. And it's been a very, very effective tool. And Mary helps coordinate all that. We're so fortunate because she's so talented. And then you add on the fact that she has become this worldwide. And I mean, she's been recognized. She just was recognized by a magazine in Europe that is a medical magazine, and they're affiliated with helping families and people that have been diagnosed with autism. And unfortunately for that, folks that are dealing with that, to date, the processes for dealing with or helping someone overcome or live through have been very negative and not been very successful. And Mary has been both leading the charge and direction of helping evolve the programs for neurological diverse children or adults to help them live a complete or a better life. And she's making progress in that area, and now she's been written up in magazines. And I know there's an Australian organization that put her at the top of the heap, and she's just incredible. And she was herself a veteran. As a matter of fact, if you remember 9/11, there was that tragedy that occurred, and she was stationed at Fort Drum, north of Syracuse. And when the second plane hit Building 2, I was on my way to go to lunch there, and I saw the big 767 get swallowed up in Tower 2. Well, Mary was already en route with the airborne division of the Army that she was in. They were making their way down to New York City for rescue and recovery. And she passed right by my hotel I was staying in by the Meadowlands. And at the time when it happened, I was on the bridge, Route 3, to go to have lunch at the tower, which obviously we didn't do that day, and had to deal with the stress and all those things. Well, she was on the ground in rescue and research and rescue, and it affected her life dearly in many ways. But she's a hero because she worked through that, and today she's still on the cutting edge, and she is 100% accountable, responsible, and herald her for the work she's done and doing. And again, the show is part of that very testament to her efforts. And so we salute her also. We do broadcast Monday through Friday. On Monday, it's Hometown Heroes. Tuesday is Travel Tuesday. We talk about how the travel industry can affect your life in a positive way, and we have career opportunity and programs we talk about. Or we have ways of helping you turn travel in your life into a positive section of your life to improve your life. On Wednesday, we have it's health and nutrition with Beth Winan, a certified dietitian, certified nutritionist. My wife hosts that show on Wednesday at noon. Thursday is Family Day, and our vice president of the Hope Collection, his name is Robert Oakley. We call him the Mighty Oak. Dear friend of mine for 40 years, and we've traveled the country together. He and his family, we've been together in business and partnership for a long time and things. And he having 9 kids, I think he's got a good statement about his family. And then, of course, today, Friday, is Salute to Captain Len Kane Day, and we honor him and all the work that, not just what he did, but what he's still doing. So join us in on any of those shows. You're always welcome to be a part of it. Identify yourself, and if you have questions or you want to contribute or you just want to meet who's speaking, I encourage you to do that. Thanks again, everyone. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Let's say a prayer for all those people that have been hurt and are still hurting from the hurricanes and the weather. And let's pray they get some relief this weekend and that we can be a part of it. If you can donate to the American Red Cross or Samaritan Purse, we highly recommend you do that. Be in prayer. If your church is doing something locally, join in and help us. We're working together to make this a greater world and a greater country.
We're proud to be that. We're proud to be here, and thank you. And I'll just sign off today, and you guys have a great weekend and make it a good one. We'll see you next week.
God bless everybody.
God bless. Bye-bye for now. Take good care. Be safe.